Hello, you guys. Happy Wednesday. I don't know if this is going to shut. I wanted to get on and just share this piece that I recently rescued. It's a buffet. It's one of my favorite pieces to make over because I think one of the reasons why I love to, it's two reasons. Buffets can be used in so many rooms and be used for so many different things. And secondly, they're hard for me to find where we are at a reasonable price where I can I can warrant picking them up and then bring them home to make over. So first of all, let me explain. Well, I should always start this way. If you can hear me and see me, please give me a comment. Tell me where you're from. Tell me, do you have a buffet in your house? Just tell me, just comment away, please, so that I know that this is working and you guys can see and hear me. Secondly, we are down in the kids' it used to be a toy room, but now they're bigger, so it's not really a toy room. It's just their hangout space down here. So the lighting is horrible, but it is freezing here in Iowa. Maybe that's what you should tell me. Where are you coming in from and what's the weather like where you are? It's freezing, so I cannot do any of this work outside. And so I have to, during the winter months, I have to deal with poor lighting and just bear with me. So sorry that the lighting's bad. It's kind of the yellow overhead just lights down here, but this is where I have to work in the winter. I usually work back in there. That's where the laundry and everything is, but I brought it out here so I could share it with you guys. So I used a new color from Dixie Belle Paint. I left some links up above for you guys to check out the things that I'm using today, but I wanted to show you kind of how I do this. The first thing I put on this piece, and this will all be on the blog, this entire makeover, because there is a process I use all the time. And so, and like I always say to you guys too, there's always a lag on this Facebook, so I can't see your comments. But just please keep bringing them in because eventually if it's working, I can see them. But this piece was pretty scratched up and it was very red. It had a red undertones. There are two drawers that are up on her craft table that I'm painting and working on, but it was very red. And so with Dixie Belle Paint, you usually do not have to, it's amazing paint. You usually do not have to, prep it so much. But this one, it had such a red undertone, I decided to put the Boss on it, and the Boss is just going to block the odor stains and the bleed through. It's amazing stuff. To me, after I put it on a piece, I shared this on Instagram stories and it should have posted through here, so you guys might have seen it. It makes it feel like raw wood. So and I think it holds the paint better. I do not do it on all pieces. Pieces that are kind of a bright orange or have some yellow undertones or like this was really red, then I will do it. And it's super easy. You just put it on like paint. So I did that a couple days ago. And then I just thought somebody was knocking on my window. And then, so after that dried, I tried this new paint color from Dixie Belle Paint that I have not used before. I love it. I just want to try new colors, and on pieces like this, it's beautiful. Like I said, this lighting's not going to do it justice, but, so I used my zebra paint brushes that I rave about. They are the most amazing brushes if you do any kind of painting, and I mean on trim, on walls, on buffets. That's what I use. And so if you're looking for a good gift for somebody, get them some good paint brushes. So I painted that on the navy color on the buffet. And here's where the craziness happens. It's not really crazy, but I always get asked if I put a top coat on pieces. And to be honest, 85% of the time I do not. I do not ever put a top coat on. Dixie Belle Paint I like the finish of it. And so usually, especially on pieces that we put in our house, I don't put a top coat on. But on this piece, I am putting a top coat on. So I kind of wanted to share that. With you guys and how I do this. Since I am working inside, let me show you the one that's actually got the label on it. I use this stuff so much, since I am working inside, I'm using the Fusion Mineral Paint. I put the clear coat link up above. Clear coat. If I could recommend one thing about a clear coat is find one that is a matte finish. So you're still going to it's still drying up here, but you're going to get a matte finish. It's not going to be super shiny, if you know what I mean. The finish isn't going to be like a high gloss, blaring finish, but it's going to coat and cover and protect your piece. This is a buffet. I will probably end up selling this piece because we do not have room. I have 2 buffets in our house. I wish I could keep this one, but I can't. And so buffets, depending on how you use them and where you use them, they're kind of a high traffic piece. If you're using it as an entertainment center, we've used them as dressers before. I have used them as, my dryer's going off. I have used them as baby changing tables, entertainment centers, I said that. So they're just kind of a high traffic piece. And so I am clear coating this. And the way I do that is, I've done most of it except for this door. I like to use, I'm just going to squirt some here in a pan. To put the clear coat on this piece, there is not a lot of detail. So it's pretty flat piece. So I'm using a mini foam roller and my triangle brush from Zebra Paintbrush. You can see this thing. You guys, they have thought about, with all their brushes, they have thought about everything for somebody that actually really paints. So anyway, so what I do is I load up the foam roller with the top coat. I'm trying to do this holding this. I should have got a stand, but I didn't. And so I'm kind of messy with it. I'm not perfect with it. And I do the inside, well, like on this one, this inside of this door. And then you can see where do not push too hard. I think a lot of people, if you're having to push too hard, it's because you have not filled your roller enough with product, paint, or whatever you're using. If you're pushing, so make sure you fill your roller. And secondly, if you're pushing too hard, it's just going to make weird lines, and you don't want that. So, but you can see where it kind of foams up around the edges here. That's why you take a brush and just go through, and you just want to get rid of that excess around the edges, around any trim. I'm trying to do this through the camera, and this is not, I thought this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought. And so I'm just trying to get rid of all of those white excess clear coat around the edges. Now, I'm not going to go over this, especially, I'm trying to get the lighting so you can see it. It may look like you didn't cover it, or it's, it just looks uneven. Do not touch it at this point. Wait till it dries. If you find you're going to find when it dries, you'll be able to see, like you can see here, obviously it's wet, where you have been and where you haven't been. You can always go over the spots if you miss some areas. But I think people put so much on because as they're doing it, they think they missed a spot or there's not enough on. Put one good coat on and then smooth it out with a paintbrush around the edges and any detail you may have, and then just chill. Finish the rest of it, and then once the entire piece is dry, just put your foam roller in a plastic bag or your paintbrush, and then come back and touch the areas that you will be able to tell what you missed and what you didn't miss. But at this point, don't add more. And so I just use the brush around. I kind of work in sections, so I just want to go around here. Again, trying to do this through the camera. And the original hardware was actually on this piece. That's a major score when you can have the original hardware. So, and then sometimes around the corners, obviously where the roller doesn't touch, I will touch up with the paintbrush. But again, you just want to go over what you did just to kind of smooth it out, and you don't want any drips or excess. So and just like paint, here, let me see if I can show you an area. Like I said, if you guys are coming in and can see me, just give me a comment so I know this is working. Oh, here, it worked perfect here. Just like paint, around your edges, you're going to have, excess, or just like if you were doing paint. So just make sure you're always checking your edges so there's not a huge glob of the clear coat or paint if you're at the painting stages. See, like right now I'm touching this too much. trying to get it shut. So see what it just did there? It just pulled that away. Just don't leave it. Just leave it, and I'll fix that here when I get off of here. But just wait till it dries, and then you can always come back and add more top coat. It's not like paint where you would have a darker spot here and then a lighter spot here because you put too many coats of paint on this side. It's not like that. So you'll just be able to come back and fix it up. So I just wanted to come on here and share that. I get the question about top coat a lot. I thought I'd show you what I'm doing. Like I said, once I get this done, photos taken, I've already started the post about it, so it will be on the blog with all the links. But I like getting on here and kind of showing you guys real time too what I'm doing and how I do things. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will come back here and answer them. But I really like this color. I usually stay towards the more neutral colors, but anymore, I don't know. I just like all the colors. If green is my favorite, but this is a really pretty color. So, all right. Have a good rest of your day, and I will check back in later.